Hi, I'm Brigham Larson with Brigham Larson Pianos. This piano here that I'm going to show you is a really cool looking Baldwin Acrosonic. So I'm going to talk quickly about acrosonics in general. I'll talk about the cosmetic things that I did to it, talk about the internal instrument guts things that I did to it, which all were very extensive. I did a lot of work on this piano and it is in awesome condition. Okay, so briefly, as far as small pianos go, the Acrosonic is my favorite. It always has been. Since the very first one that I worked on nearly 20 years ago, I just kind of fell in love with the Acrosonic. Small pianos can have certain limitations, and for whatever reason, the Acrosonic just consistently I work on maybe one a week, something like that, maybe one every other week, and they just sound great, and they play really well. So I feel kind of lucky to have an Acrosonic here at my store. Okay, so I'll talk about cosmetics. I did a lot of work on the cosmetics. I redid the keys, and they look really nice now. Nice and rounded and beautiful. A lot of older pianos. This one's a 1941, by the way. They can have chipped keys, so I redid all of those. And then the pedals, took care of those, made those really nice. And I didn't refinish the exterior, the cabinetry, but I did do lots of like scratch cover. You know, piano that's what, over 70 years old, invariably will have lots of issues. And this one, you know, it still has some minor surface stuff, but cosmetically the cabinetry, particularly considering its age, is really in excellent condition. And I want to show you, this cabinetry is kind of cool the way it folds up. I really like that. Just kind of a cool design. It looks very 1940s to me when I look at it. Maybe 1950s, but this one's 1941. Okay, so the guts. Let's talk about the guts. I did lots of work on this piano. I suspect very little had been done to it in the intervening 70 or so years, and I took care of everything without exception. So, of course, the first thing I do, any piano older than 10 years or so is going to be absolutely filthy. I took it outside, cleaned it very thoroughly, blew it out, and you blow it with air compressor or like a leaf blower for 10 minutes, and you still get stuff going on. I took the action out, blew it out very thoroughly, and then cleaned everything on the inside and on the back and down underneath very thoroughly with orange oil. The action, which is kind of the engine essentially of the piano, tightened everything in there so that every screw, which is several hundred of them, everything is properly aligned and very tight. Lubricated everything. You get lots of squeaks and issues there. If not now, you invariably get them down the road. I took care of all of those problem spots where I've come to know squeaks originate. Of course, regulated everything, and if you're not familiar with what regulation is, again, about every 10 years or so, 20 at the most, a piano needs to be regulated. Of course, it needs to be tuned every 6 to 12 months, but regulation is something that often gets overlooked because maybe, you know, it's such a gradual process that a piano gets out of regulation. So that's a very broad term. It takes into account basically the touch, making sure that the touch is exactly what it's supposed to be. There's a fairly narrow range of what proper touch is. And it encompasses everything from ensuring that the distance from the hammers to the keys is correct, the distance that the hammer, if you've ever noticed, when you push very softly on a key, that no noise comes out, or it shouldn't anyway, if you push extremely softly. And the reason for that is the hammer's coming close to the string, and then at the last possible moment, or what is supposed to be the last possible moment, it pulls away from the string. So I got that distance that it pulls away correct, the distance that it checks so that it repeats faster, the dampers, the proper damper timing, all of these kinds of things. I took care of them. Nothing is there's no issue. Not only is there no issue, but I ensured that no issue. Having about 15,000 pianos personally under my belt, I know what common issues are, and I took care of everything on this piano. And there's no question in my mind you have to worry about any sticking keys, any kind of issues at all. This piano is just in excellent condition, probably the best condition that it's been in since 1941. Okay, let's listen to it. That's a great little piano. I'm proud of my work. I'm proud of how it sounds when I play it. I'm proud of how it feels, and I would totally stand behind this piano for years and years to come.